Dear parents and students, on behalf of the team here in Coláiste, I'd like to welcome you to our Senior Options presentation. Normally, this is an event which we host in the school. However, as with so much over the past year, we've had to change and adapt the way we deliver these presentations, while also ensuring that we meet the needs of our students wherever they may be on their journey. Throughout this presentation, our team will talk to you about the various pathways that lie before you when it comes to your senior options. We want you to know that we're here to help, support and guide you wherever you may be in making your decision. Some of you may already know where you want to go with relation to your senior options. However, most of you will still be in the process of making that decision. Wherever you are, I hope that you find the information here helpful and supportive. Over the coming minutes, our team will talk to you about the various components of our senior cycle programme. We encourage you to listen to this and to see which one applies best to you. Over the coming weeks, you'll be sending in application forms and telling us where it is you want to go. We will be here to help and guide you through that process, and we hope to hear from you in the coming weeks. In this presentation, different members of our team will take you through the various aspects of our senior cycle programme in Coláiste. There's a lot to consider, and so we have broken up our senior cycle programme into its various components. Ms.Cotter will take you through our wellbeing programme at senior cycle. Mr.McGettigan will talk you through the different subjects that are available to you and the different requirements. Mr.Cash will take you through our Leaving Cert Applied programme, while Ms.Caffrey will take you through our transition year programme. I will take you through the Leaving Cert Vocational programme, which is an optional programme which feeds into your Leaving Cert, the traditional Leaving Cert. And finally, Ms.Barry will take you through our additional educational needs section for senior cycle. When making your decision, a good place to begin is to have a discussion with your parents or guardians about some ideas you have regarding where you see yourself at the end of your senior cycle. When you have a clearer picture of where you see yourself, you can then look at which of these choices will help you best to reach that goal. The different sections outlined here in the presentation will outline how our school community can help you and support you in working towards that goal. In order to facilitate you in making your decision, we have designed a timeline which will give you the space and time you need to make your decision. During this time, our team will be available to take any questions or queries you may have. By the time you return from your Easter holidays, you should know where you will be going on your senior cycle and what subjects you will be studying. We ask that you pay close attention to the deadlines which are applicable to each section of this programme, and this will help us to ensure that we have the options laid out in a timely manner for everybody. At this stage in your post-primary education, you are approaching the end of your junior cycle, and you now have to decide which path you will take in your senior cycle. The important thing to do is to choose the path which best meets your needs and which best suits you and where you are on your learning journey. Here at Coláiste, we offer a number of different options and pathways for you to progress through your senior cycle. The purpose of this presentation is to outline the different paths you can take and to provide you with as much information as you need to decide on the path that you will take. Here in Coláiste, we offer a number of different pathways through the senior cycle which cater for the various interests and learning requirements of our students. After junior cycle, students have the option of doing an optional fourth year in the school or transition year, which acts as a bridge between the junior cycle and senior cycle. Ms.Caffrey will talk to you later on in this presentation about this very engaging and enjoyable programme here in Coláiste. You can also choose to go directly from junior cycle into senior cycle, and here there are further choices. You can participate in the traditional Leaving Cert, which may include the Leaving Certificate Vocational programme if you meet the programme requirements. Another path is the Leaving Cert Applied, or LCA, which provides another pathway to adult and working life, as well as further education. All these options will be explored in detail throughout our presentation. When making your decision, we strongly encourage you to talk with different people to help you to make an informed decision. We strongly encourage you to talk to people who know you, who know your interests, who know the type of learner you are. People such as your parents or guardians, the guidance counsellor here in the school, your teachers, the deputy principals, or indeed myself, the principal. Older siblings, cousins and friends who have already completed their senior cycle or who are currently undertaking one of the programmes may also be able to help you in your decision. We strongly encourage you to gather as much advice as you possibly can in order to make the best choice for you. In the next session of our presentation, our Deputy Principal, Ms. Cotter, will outline our wellbeing programme at senior cycle and how, as a school, we support your wellbeing at this stage of your journey.
Hello everyone, my name is Ms.Cotter and I'm just going to say a few words to you about wellbeing here in Coláiste at senior cycle. The health and wellbeing, both physical and mental, of every student is very important to us. I'm going to take you through some of our programmes now. There are three things I'd like to point out about senior cycle wellbeing. The first one is a programme that we run in the religion class, Mind Out. Mind Out is a programme that focuses on the social, emotional and mental well-being of young people. This year we've also subscribed to an online platform called Tree of Knowledge. And Tree of Knowledge is a platform that encourages young people to be the best version of themselves through a combination of coaching and modules that are presented there. At senior cycle we also have relationships and sexuality education, and this is delivered by an external facilitator. Within the school then we have other supports around our wellbeing programme. Teachers and year heads, of course, within their classrooms and through their year groups are very cognizant of the wellbeing of each of their students. We have a care team, and the care team meets each week to discuss other supports that might be needed for any particular year group. The chaplain and our guidance counsellors can offer support depending on the needs of a student. We have a stress management programme that is run each year, especially coming up to exam time, and that has been very successful and helpful for students. We participate in National Smile Week, which is usually in January. We couldn't do it this year, but that's usually a very fun week with lots of activities and guest speakers. Students really enjoy that. And then we have, throughout the year, we have other wellbeing events depending on the time of year, and maybe coming up to breaks such as non-uniform days or sports days and all sorts of different events. We seek external support at times when it's necessary. For example, we actually do link in with Accord every year for support for our first years and fifth years around RSC education. And then other agencies such as TUSLA, Jigsaw and CAMS are agencies that we would link into depending on our needs. We have the facility to refer students outside of our school for counselling if that is needed. So be assured that wellbeing at senior cycle is very important, and we will do everything to keep your child safe and happy at senior cycle. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ms.Barry and I'm going to talk to you about subject options for the Leaving Cert. So out of the 7 subjects that students typically do for the Leaving Cert, 4 of them are core subjects, and they're Irish, English, Maths and then a language such as German or French. So with these 4, typically the level that you're studying it at is going to be important. For Irish, you need higher level Irish if you're going to be a primary school teacher. And it's an essential subject if you want to go to the NUI colleges, for example, Maynooth University or UCD. So for the NUI colleges, you must have at least an 06 in Irish unless you've got an exemption. So if you've got an exemption from Irish in second level, that carries through then to third level. Higher level maths is necessary to do engineering at honours degree level. Ordinary level maths is sufficient for past degree and higher certificate engineering in the Institutes of Technology. In general, maths isn't essential for arts and humanities courses. Higher level English will enhance answers in all other subjects, but it's not a general entry requirement for most courses. All universities require a pass in English except ECU, which requires a pass in either Irish or English, and the ITs require a pass in English or Irish as well. Continental languages in Coláiste we have French or German, and again they're a requirement to pass level for the NUIs. Again, things like Maynooth, UCD, UCC, NUI Galway, and in colleges that are accredited by the NUI. There were some exceptions, for example some engineering, business and science courses in Maynooth and science and engineering in UCD are exempt. Honours level is needed for individual courses. What I mean by that is if you're going to study French, for example, as a degree, then you need to be doing honours level French in your Leaving Cert. Here is a quick overview of the options offered in College to Ciarán: art, accountancy, biology, business, chemistry, construction studies, DCG, economics, engineering, geography, history, home ec, physics and music. History at a higher level needs English at quite a high standard, and it's a good subject to enhance analytical and research skills. Geography can be used as a second lab science subject when taking science at Trinity, and it can be accepted instead of a lab science subject in a new course in Maynooth called Biological and Geographical Sciences, and also for common entry science only in UCD. Construction studies, engineering, DCG, physics, they'll all enhance success in engineering, but they're not essential for course entry. The three science subjects that we study in College to Ciarán are chemistry, biology and physics. And if you want to be a nurse, then you need a lab science subject to do that. And all science and some engineering degrees require at least one science subject in the Leaving Cert. Chemistry at higher level is recommended and indeed is sometimes necessary for courses like nutrition, in other words, to be a dietitian, medicine, dentistry, pharmacy and veterinary medicine courses. And two science subjects are necessary in some colleges for the above courses. For example, if you want to do medicine in Trinity or in UCC, you need two science subjects for that. Chemistry is required for the following courses. So dentistry in Cork, human nutrition and dietetics in TU Dublin, medicine in Cork, pharmacy in RCSI, pharmacy in Cork, and medical and health sciences in UCC, and of course veterinary medicine in UCD. Sometimes students wish to take up art or music even though they haven't studied it for the Junior Cert. In these cases, what we'd do is we'd ask that you talk to your art or music teacher who will advise you further on that. The three business subjects that we study in College to Ciarán are accounting, business and economics, and a student can take up economics if they haven't studied business to Junior Cert. It's advisable for students opting for Leaving Cert Home Ec to have completed the Junior Certificate course, as some of the areas on the Junior Cert course are continued at Leaving Cert level. So let's go straight to one of two websites that will help you with your research. The first one is called Careers Portal, a fantastic website with a wealth of information. So if we click on Communities and go right over to Leaving Cert here, and then click Leaving Cert Subjects, it takes us to this page and divides Leaving Cert subjects into the practical group, the science group, the artistic and creative group, the humanities group, social group and business group. You simply pick a subject that you want to find out more about. So let's look at home economics for the crack. And it takes us to this page. The first page is a summary of the subject, why you should study it, what kind of student would it suit, recommendations and tips. If you like, you can look at the grades that have been awarded, and that takes you through that. And you can also hear from people who have studied this subject as well. It's a really, really excellent website. Gives you a quick overview of the course, and then you can look more in depth then into the course content, look at the exam structure, and here it tells me that 80% of the exam is written, 20% is practical coursework, and then the career possibilities coming from that as well. Absolutely fantastic website. Okay, and the second website that I wanted you to look at for your research is called Qualifacts. Qualifacts has got pretty much every single course at third level and also part-time courses as well in Ireland on it. So when you get to Qualifacts, you click on the second tab up here that says Students, and then go over to the right hand side where it says Subject Choice. And then halfway down there, we click on this thing called Subject Requirements module. And then we're going to look at the Leaving Cert subjects that are required for third level. So that brings us to this last page. So up at the top here it says show me third level courses which may or may not require the following subject. So let's put in our old friend chemistry here and click search. So it tells me there's 202 courses that match my requirements. The top one says that only 7 courses definitely require chemistry. Let's look at that first. So I click on it and click View Courses. And it shows me these ones that we looked at earlier in the presentation. If I go back, again, I can choose a different subject. So let's take business, for example, and click Search. So again, no courses you can see up here require business. Let's look at one more. Okay, let's take something like biology and click Search. So again, there's 5 courses that definitely require biology. And then you see here that there's almost 200 that may require biology. Those are the courses that require a science subject. So if we look at the ones that definitely require biology, we can see that they're here. And when you click on them, then it takes you directly to the web page and it tells you exactly what you need to get into that particular course. So in wrapping up, our general advice is to choose subjects that you enjoy doing. You're going to be far happier in school. The chances are you're going to do better in your Leaving Cert because you're doing subjects you enjoy as well. If you'd like to talk to me at any stage, please email me guidance@college2kieran and we can arrange a Google Meet. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Mr. Cash and I want to talk to you about the Leaving Certificate Applied, or LCA as it's often called. So what is the Leaving Cert Applied? Well, it's a 2-year Leaving Certificate programme aimed at preparing students for adult and working life. It rewards forms of achievement and excellence which the established Leaving Cert has not recognised in the past. So who would benefit most? Well, students who may not be catered for by other Leaving Certificate programmes, or students who choose not to opt for these programmes. How can this programme help me? Well, it prepares students for adult working life. It recognises the talents of all students. The assessment is carried out across 2 years, and work placement, this gives students an opportunity to experience 4 different working environments across the 2 years. The programme itself is divided into 4 sessions. 5th year session 1 runs from September to January. 5th year session 2 is from January to June. Session 3 is 6th year September to January, and finally 6th year session 4, which runs from January to June. At the end of 5th year session 1, you will be awarded credits for the work undertaken during that session. And these credits are carried on into 5th year session 2 and also into 6th year session 3 and finally into 6th year session 4. The programme itself is divided into 3 broad sections. The first is vocational preparation. The second is vocational education, and this involves maths and 2 specialism. Now, a specialism is normally a practical subject that you will take, and we offer construction studies, we offer hotel, tourism and catering, and we also offer art. So this is really dependent on what resources are available to us during the year. And finally, we have general education, which involves art education, French, Irish, leisure and recreation, and social education. It's also worth noting that the French and Irish are compulsory, even if you have an exemption. But the levels that these subjects are taken at is very, very doable. So I wouldn't be too concerned about taking on either the French or the Irish subject. The assessment then is carried out across 2 years, and it amounts to 200 credits drawn from the 3 areas outlined here below. The first of these involves student task. Now, a student task is a body of work that you would undertake normally across maybe 3 to 4 weeks. And at the end of this, you will write up a report, and an examiner then will come out from the Department of Education and assess both you and your work. This will happen 7 times across the 2 years. On the left then we have 62 credits going for the completion of modules, and a module then would just be a normal class or number of classes. But it's worth noting here that you must have a 90% attendance rate in order to get these credits. And finally then, in June of 6th year, you will have a final examination with 68 credits going. It's worth noting here that the bulk of the marks going for the Leaving Cert Applied are gained in classwork, not in the final exam. Certificate is awarded at 3 levels. A pass is from 60 to 69%, merit is from 70 to 84, and then distinction is from 85 to 100. In this slide here, we're going to look at the different career paths available to you. And starting with the Leaving Cert Applied itself, that has an NFQ rating of level 4. Now, NFQ stands for the National Framework of Qualifications, and this is an organisation set up to oversee all qualifications that are issued on the island of Ireland. Okay, so the first option you have there is go directly to a career. You have the option of going into the Gardaí or the Army, or a career path of your choosing directly from the Leaving Cert Applied. You can then go to a post-Leaving Cert course, normally called PLC, and this can end up with a qualification of 5 or 6. And with that then, with your PLC, you can then go on to further education and come out with a level 7 to 10, and then on into a career from there. The final path available to you is with the Solace Apprenticeship Scheme, and this has a level 6 attached to it. So as you can see from this slide here, there are many different paths available to you through the Leaving Cert Applied.
Hi, so I'm Ms.Caffrey, and I'm going to talk to you today about our transition year programme that we run here in Coláiste Chiaráin. So the first slide we have is just a couple of images of our trip in September. We do this every year. It's the getting to know you, team building, teamwork and bonding session that we do. We went to Larch Hill, totally COVID compliant and socially distanced this year, and the kids had a great time. It works really, really well. It's something that they all look forward to. We also have artwork as well on show here. Okay, so what is transition year? Transition year then is a 1-year optional programme between junior cycle and senior cycle. It's a chance for students to take time to think, develop their skills, improve where they think they need to. It's a non-exam focused year and it's optional, okay? It's totally optional, your choice. The aims of transition year then, it's education for maturity. So to improve your maturity level, if you're a little bit young, it might be something to think about. An emphasis on social awareness, increased social competence, the world around you, your community, where you live, what you can do to help, how the world is and what we can do to help things in it. Education then through the experience of adult and working life. This is our work experience, huge part of TY. I'll talk a little bit about that later on. We do encourage students. There's loads of other courses and work experience outside of school. I will be giving a list for those who apply. I have a list available of loads of different courses through Minimed and law and various places that I can give. Really, really useful, and you can do that at any time during the year. Promotion of general, technical and academic skills. So this is moving on from junior cycle into senior cycle, giving you a chance maybe to try a few different things, try a few new subjects, try a few different areas. Again, it all depends on our resources that we have available at the time, but it's a good opportunity for you to think about what you might do for Leaving Cert. Another photograph, this is from 2 years ago. We had a very large group, and this was their Goshka hike through the Wicklow Mountains, another overnight event that all the students look forward to as well. So why should you choose transition year then? Okay, as I mentioned, your age might be of importance. It may not be, but if you are young, it is something to think about. A chance to sample new subjects, new skills, strengths, preparation for adult life. That's where work experience comes in. You have to get it, you have to turn up, you're going to get out of your work experience what you put into it. You do what you're asked to do, you turn up every day, the times you're asked to turn up. It's what we all have to do in the adult world, the real world. Promotion of self-directed learning. You're given your work, you're given a timeline, you do the work. It's up to you to get it done. Self-directed learning. Work experience, as I mentioned, working as a team. It's a huge opportunity to take the pressure off. There's no exam pressure in TY. So you're away from the junior cycle, you haven't started senior cycle yet, there's no exams going on. And then it also could help making informed choices with respect to your Leaving Cert. So even if you don't get the chance to do the actual subject, you have more chance to maybe talk to the teachers that are promoting these subjects in the school, that do the actual subjects that you're interested in. So it takes time, allows you the time to do that. So we talk about the layers of TY. We have core subjects, they're the ones that we do every year. English, Irish, Maths, and a few others that I'll show you in the next slide. A subject sampling layer, this is like throughout the year, you do art, you do music. You may never have done these before, but you're going to find something useful, something interesting, something different to do and to take part in. And it may be something that you really, really enjoy. TY specific module, this year, for example, they did Russian for 10 weeks. So now we have 24 students who have learned Russian for 10 weeks. So that's a specific module, 10-week program. The calendar once-off events are like the overnight events that I've talked about, but also our big focus in the beginning of TY year is the musical. Slightly different this year, we got it done, but we had to film it all. But usually it's a stage production in the GAA over 3 nights, and the students produce it all themselves. Everything. Tickets, costumes, everything is all their own work. So that's an example of a calendar once-off event. Here we have some of the subjects and some of the activities that have been offered or may be offered. Again, it's all dependent on our numbers, it's all dependent on the teachers we have available at the time. The subjects in red are the ones that are on the timetable every year, okay? You can see them there, English, the language, Irish, etc. Then the extra ones are in the blue. They're activities, they're workshops, or they're subjects that we have been able to offer, or we offer as a little bit of a module or as a one-off possibly as well, okay? Camping, overnight trips, song school, for example, and filmmaking, just to name a few that are up there. Work experience then, okay? Again, as I said, this is really, really important. At the moment, we offer it as a 1 day a week thing, that you go on a Wednesday and you work, okay? It's really important. Students, you have to find your own placement. It's up to you. Find out where you can go on a Wednesday to do some work. If you can get it in a career that you think you might be interested in down the line, that would be great. It doesn't have to be. You're going to get skills out of doing any work experience. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to be an accountant, I must work in an accountant's office. It doesn't have to be that. We do ask you to possibly, throughout the whole year, if you can change over, do a few weeks somewhere else, try a different job, a different role. Also, we encourage students also to look at volunteering, helping out in the community, back to the first slide, talking about social awareness and things like that. COVID has obviously impacted hugely on how we can do work experience and what we have done. What we've been able to do this year is we've offered an online course where students have the chance to actually make something and sell it and make money. So it's like a little mini company, but it's like work experience type on a Wednesday as well. And we've done baking and typing as well. And looking at their life skills, baking and typing, as I mentioned. Some of the examples of other activities that we've done. The overnight I mentioned, the musical. Christmas market was new this year. We introduced it. It was a great success. We were able to do it outside, socially distanced. We got to jump zone, we've done ice skating, you can read them all there. Law is starting, we've a workshop starting after midterm for another 10-week module as well. So there's a lot there, you can have a look at it, and if you've any questions about them, you can let me know. This is images from Jump Zone just before Christmas. Again, socially distanced, masks on. We were the only ones there, it was great. And then the Christmas market, unfortunately we couldn't have outsiders in, but the whole school got a chance to come out in their socially distant lines and queues, and they sold Christmas decorations and baked goods and stuff. It was great. They had a great day doing it. Okay, you have a time to relax, okay? 1st to 3rd year, you're doing junior cycles, CBAs, etc., etc. 5th and 6th year then, obviously, Leaving Cert. A time to think. This is the huge benefit, I think, of TY. what do I want to do? What do I need to do? What can I improve about myself to make me better for university or career or whatever comes down the line? What am I interested in? Like, I don't know, at 14, 15, did I know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life? No, but taking an extra year to think about things might help, okay? Time to improve. There's a huge, massive difference between the work content that's needed for junior cycle to senior cycle. And that's something that can be improved on in TY. We can take time to, look at how to write an essay, how to formulate answers, how to get a project together, all of that. Improve your skills, your friendships. You're going to be with one group of students for the whole year, and that is the bonding that happens. There might be people you've never worked with before, but it's amazing the friendships that are formed. Relationships with teachers. This changes, this improves. We see you as the young adults you're going to become. We want to work with you to help you become the young adults that we want you to be. And that all improves in this year of TY. It's huge. Time to try new things, subjects, activities. Miss, I don't want to do art. Fine. But it's time to try something different, something new. I don't want to sing on the stage. That's okay too. We don't make anybody do anything on the stage that they really don't want to do, but we want to give everybody a chance. And there's always a job for somebody to do something to help in any activity, okay? That's the big one, time to try. TY is a year of trying new things, okay? Another activity we had this year after we got our recording done of the school show, so we had time to sit back and relax, and we did some pumpkin carving for Halloween, so that was good. So this is another point to say. If you decide to do transition year, the biggest thing for you is the ability and the willingness to say yes. Yes to trying new things. Yes to going outside your comfort zone. Yes to getting involved. Yes to working as part of a team, okay? Becoming more independent, becoming a better citizen. We do focus on development, education, and global problems and things that we need to look at and how can we help as an individual. And my big mantra is that you will only get out of TY what you are willing to put in. It can be the most boring year of your life if you sit back and do nothing. But if you take part, if you get involved, if you are willing to try, you'll get so much out of TY, and it will stand to you in the future, going into 5th year and 6th year. Teachers say they know the student who's done TY sitting in front of them and the student who hasn't done TY sitting in front of them. There is a difference. And just to end, a couple of images from last year. We had a one-day cookery. They made their chocolate logs for Christmas. And then one of the images from our school show that was on the stage the year previous, and that was Oliver, a huge success. And the kids on that stage loved every minute of it, after the event nearly. But no, they did. They had a great time. So thanks for listening. Attached to this will be a form or a document for you to fill in if you are interested in TY. If you want to email the school, and emails can be sent on to me if you have any questions or queries about anything. Okay? Thanks for listening. Bye.
In this section of our presentation, we will begin to explore the Leaving Certificate Vocational Programme. The Leaving Certificate Vocational Programme is an optional programme that exists within the traditional Leaving Cert. And provided that you meet the relevant requirements to the programme, you can access this programme here in Coláiste. So the Leaving Cert Vocational Programme has a focus on enterprise and preparation for working life. It's a 2-year programme which combines the academic strengths of the Leaving Certificate with a dynamic focus on self-directed learning, enterprise work and the community. In order to meet the programme requirements for the Leaving Certificate Vocational Programme, you must have at least 5 Leaving Cert subjects, one of which must be Irish, plus the link modules outlined below. 2 of the above subjects must be selected from one of the designated vocational subject groupings, which we'll explore in the next slide. The 2 link modules, which are preparation for the world of work and enterprise education, must be fulfilled in addition to the 5 subjects. And a recognised course in a modern European language other than Irish or English. In our school, that means French or German must be studied in order to access the Leaving Certificate Vocational Programme. In this slide, you will see the designated vocational subject groupings which you must meet in order to access the Leaving Certificate Vocational Programme. As you can see, there are 11 different groupings and the combinations must be met in order to access the programme. However, we strongly encourage you not to choose your Leaving Certificate subject on the basis of accessing the Leaving Certificate vocational programme. When choosing your subjects, we strongly encourage you to choose subjects which you are interested in and which you excel. And if the subject requirements fit, then we can look at the Leaving Certificate vocational programme as an option for you. But these subject combinations must be met, plus the criteria outlined in the previous slide, in order to access the programme. Upon completion of the Leaving Certificate vocational programme, you will be awarded either a pass, a merit or a distinction, the points of which and the percentages within are outlined here. As you can see, a pass will offer you 28 points, a merit will offer you 46 points and a distinction will offer you 66 points. When calculating your final CAO points, these points will be in addition to your 5 best subjects, provided that your 6th subject is lower than the points outlined in the Leaving Certificate vocational programme.
Hello, Joanne Barry is my name, and I'm here today to represent the Additional Educational Needs team. And I'm here to talk to you about how learning support is provided for senior students at senior cycle. Okay, so if you are registered with the AEN department and you have been registered with us because you have an Irish exemption, that means you are not currently studying Irish and you attend one of our small groups that we offer here in Coláiste. When you come into the senior cycle, into 5th year, you will be studying geography instead of Irish. So Coláiste offers support through the curriculum at senior cycle. So when you come into 5th year, when you take a look at the timetable and you see where Irish has been timetabled, that is when we will run the subject of geography. And you will study that geography subject at either honours or ordinary level, whatever you're capable of. We offer that subject, it continues on then into 6th year. So when you are making your subject choices for 5th year, it's very, very important that you remember not to pick geography as an option, as you will be studying it anyway instead of Irish. The second area that we provide support through the curriculum is, again, if you are a member of the AEN department, if you are registered with us and you do not study a language, you do not study German or French, and this reason is because of learning difficulties that you may experience, and it has been recommended at junior cycle that maybe you don't study German or French. Well, then we will be offering you the subject of LCVP at 5th year level. This subject has a number of different specifications attached to it, and if you go back on this slide presentation, in the bottom right hand corner you might see slide 61, and the slide is entitled Designated Vocational Subject Groupings. What we recommend for you to do is look at that slide, look at the subject groupings that you must choose in order to take part in the LCVP programme. Otherwise, when you come into 5th year, and if you haven't looked at those groupings and if you haven't made your subject groupings in the correct manner that will allow you to access the LCVP course, you will not be able to take that subject as an additional subject, allowing you to gain the points that are associated with it. So it is very, very important that if you do not study French or German, that you look at the subject groupings, choose your options according to those subject groupings, and then this will allow you to access the points that are associated with LCVP. And you will continue studying LCVP into 6th year. You will also, during 5th year and 6th year, you will also receive learning support during one of the times that LCVP is timetabled on your timetable. LCVP will be run at the same time as French or German. All right, and you will attend a different class at that time. This learning support that you will be receiving, in addition to the LCVP programme, will be under the heading of study skills, maybe support with projects that you are taking part in other subjects at 5th year or at 6th year level. Now, for LCVP, you are required to take French or German for one class in either 5th year or 6th year. And I know I've just said that you're not studying this subject, but it's part of the LCVP module. It is not of a very high standard, the French that you're going to be taking. You will not be taking part in an exam. You just have to participate in a French class once a week in either 5th year or 6th year. And we will decide that when we have our resources and we take a look at our timetable next September. So it's very important to remember that when you are making your subject choices for 5th year, when you are picking your options, that you take a look at the combination of subjects that I've already mentioned, if you are not studying French or German and are going to take LCVP, and these subject combinations then, if they are correct, will allow you to access the points that are associated with the LCVP course. In September, if you have not made the correct choice of subjects, it is often very difficult for us to allow you to change your subject options, as most of the classes will have been filled already by students from the rest of 5th year. So it's very important that you take a look at those subject options. If you have any questions regarding learning support provided at senior level, if you email me at jbarry@collegedecairean.com, or if you want to contact the office, please do so.